Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You've tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm, of course, Clay Edwards. I am live here on the FM dial at 103.9 FM WYAB, streaming worldwide at WYAB.com, as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa. Just search WYAB. You listen to the station all day. From this show to the last show and every show in between, streaming live. Also, I am in 4K video across all of my social media platforms this morning. Rumble at SaveJXN, Facebook, YouTube, and X, all at SaveJXN. Now, you may type that in and see my name pop up, but the .com/ whatever you want to call it's at SaveJXN. I do like that social media allows you to have a name and at handle that are different. You know, because Save Jackson's the brand, Clay Edwards is the person. So, I don't know. If I could do it all over again, I would probably do something different. But at the time, I was extremely hell-bent on the Save Jackson stuff. I think we've kind of grown past that a little bit when necessary. We've grown past it. Like today, I don't have a whole lot of Jackson stuff to talk about. You know, I've always said that no matter how big the show gets or the reach the show gets or whatever, you know, if we ever grow this into other markets, which we've talked about, you know, here in Mississippi, expanding into other markets, Jackson's still going to skip the line. I don't care what we're talking about or what's going on. When Jackson does something stupid, it's going to skip the line. Like naysayers on talk radio. When they call in, they want to disagree, you skip the line. We're going to move to the front. Not a whole lot to talk about today, I don't think. I'll check the websites during the breaks. But last night, tidy up a little business real quick. Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944, 769-241-1944. The Mazda of Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. And speaking of Mazda Jackson, you know, the last month of the year, December, is legitimately, this is not just a sales pitch here, it is legitimately the best time of the year to buy a new car. It truly is. They've got end-of-the-year rebates. They've got great interest rates. And they do not need those 24 models sitting on the lot in 25. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, get out to Mazda of Jackson now. Not yesterday, today. Get out there today and go see my buddy Grady Patera or whoever you catch out there and get you a new Mazda. That CX-90 is a gorgeous vehicle. It truly is. But you can shop them online at MazdaofJackson.com. Guns and Gear is closed on Mondays, but they'll be back open tomorrow. And those guys will absolutely be rocking and rolling here to close out the year. So you got support Hunter and them for all your guns, ammo, accessories, Cerakoting, and gunsmithing needs. You can check them out online at gunsandgear.co. That's Guns in Gear, just like Guns in Roses, Guns in Gear. Not Guns and Gear. Gunsandgear.co, located right there on Highway 51 North in Gluckstadt at Yandell Road. We got out this weekend. I promise we're going to jump straight into Kash Patel, the FBI, crackhead Hunter Biden getting pardoned, all that stuff. Pedophile Hunter Biden, allegedly, of course. We're going to get into all that here this morning. But recap. You know, I always like to talk about my holiday weekends and my weekends and whatnot, all in general. Kind of tell you what happened in the life of Clay. Went bowling Saturday night. That was fun. First time I've been bowling in my adult life. And I hit multiple strikes. Now, I could throw that damn thing straight down the lane. I kind of got that figured out. But if I had to put any curve into it, I was out on that. But I'm kind of like being a knockout artist, a one-hitter quitter. I could throw that strike down the middle. But man, if I had to hit two pins left up in the corner, Those two pins weren't getting hit unless it was by accident. But I had a good time. Went out to Fannin Lanes Saturday night. Like I said, had a good old time. We actually went by Acme. So we went to Fannin Lanes without intentions on eating. Or at least I didn't have intentions on eating because I ate a late lunch at McBee's after doing the sports show. Golly, those mango habanero wings at McBee's are so good. But anyway, I digress. So we go to Fannin Lanes, and I was like, guys, we're not going to be able to get a lane. I said, I know enough about bowling. I know enough about how busy these bowling alleys are that this is a fruitless endeavor we're about to go on here because we're not going to be able to get a lane. Paint me shocked. They said 45 minutes to an hour. I know that ain't bad. So the girls were like, well, why don't we just order a pizza? I was like, no. We're literally, I can throw a rock and hit Acme Pizza. It's right there in front of us. By the way, shout out Acme Pizza. Chip Matthews, his show will be up next, 9 to 10. We go over to Acme. It's like 6 or 7 of us. We sit down, and I just want to give a shout out to Chip and the team. Look, we ordered a lot of food in a short amount of time, a few drinks. We had kids with us, the whole 9 yards. We were in and out of there within 45 minutes to an hour. We got over to the bowling alley, and we still had a good 10 minutes before they called our name. Our biggest concern was we weren't going to be able to we weren't going to be able to eat fast enough if we went over to Acme and ordered. But, man, they got it out fast. It was fresh. It was hot. It was good. The dynamite balls were on fire. Yeah, even the kids liked them. We got 2 large pepperoni pizzas. One was supreme. You know, none of that really matters. It was good is my point. And you should try that for dinner tonight. I didn't even mean to make this an Acme Pizza plug here, but they are open on Monday nights. They're closed on Tuesdays. But you got Monday Night Football tonight. You got wrestling if you still watch a little WWE. And frankly, it's just cold. It's just going to be cold. And you're going to get home from work. You're not going to feel like cooking anything. You know, if you live over there, especially close to the reservoir, hit up one of the delivery services or swing by, pick it up to go, and enjoy some of that Acme Pizza and or daiquiris. We tried both. We had the pizza and the daiquiris and the dynamite balls the other night. Everybody enjoyed what they had. Had a good time bowling. That was really fun. I'm going to maybe do that some more here in the future. You know, believe it or not, I don't really like being out amongst big crowds unless I really know the crowd. You know, like I'm a regular somewhere or something like that. I get a little bit of social anxiety, and I've always had that. It's nothing that's come new at all. And I know people kind of chuckle at that because, like, you're on bars. You know, you go out to all these concerts, and I've had anxiety every time I've ever walked in any of them, but it's just something that I refuse to let defeat me or take medicine for. Well, I may take a medicine for it. It's called whatever beer I'm drinking and a couple shots of Fireball. That's my anxiety medicine. Anyway, good time this weekend. I recommend get out bowling or just go do stuff. It was fun. I was listening to, I guess we'll just save all the Kash Patel stuff for the second segment. These first segments of these shows are always just kind of me trauma dumping on y'all. Speaking of mental health, anxiety, stuff like that, I was listening to the Trigonometry podcast coming in. It's a couple British guys. Let me double check, make sure that's the right name. And I'm going to share this link to this in the Clay Edwards Show Facebook group, which, by the way, it's back up. But it was never down, but I took a break from it, from allowing posts or anything, because during the election, what they considered misinformation and disinformation was definitely not the same thing Trump supporters considered misinformation or disinformation. So every time something got posted, even if we approved the post because we thought it was legitimate, if Facebook didn't agree with the post, they take it down and they give the moderators of the group a strike. Hey, look, at the end of the day, if I don't use Facebook for nothing else, it helps me sell a lot of shirts. You know what I'm saying? I can't afford to lose Facebook. I mean, political tool aside, marketing aside, I use it to sell a lot of shirts and to help fund this operation. Can't afford to get kicked off Facebook because of somebody else's post. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to start putting a little jar in here. And every time I say I digress, I'm going to put $1 in it. They're in my little isms. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so I'll put the link to this podcast in the Facebook group. Y'all go join that. Clay, just type in Clay Edwards about show on the end. It's not a Facebook page. It's a group. You got to join. You got to answer a few questions so we make sure you're not a bot. And we'll get you approved to get on in there and start approving your posts and stuff and all that. But it had Adam Carolla on it. And it was, just right at the tail end and kind of what I thought was just going to be just the throwaway portion of the show. He got talking about mental health and this mental health problem that we have in America, how we're not properly addressing it. And I know I just mentioned like order some DoorDash or some take a break deliveries or just using one of the delivery services. And he said, man, we've gotten away from he goes, all of our ancestors, and by ancestors, we just mean people 50 years ago, 30 years ago, and how mental health has become such a crisis in the last 20 to 30 years. And he traced it back to something I didn't really consider. We're not doing anything for ourselves anymore. Like all the little mundane, boring tasks that we're supposed to be doing ourselves, cooking dinner, washing our own cars, building a fort with our kids, fixing your toilet. Just the little mundane stuff that instead of even remotely putting forth a nickel's worth of effort to try to figure out how to do it ourselves, hanging flat screen TVs is another one. I have paid somebody to hang my flat screen TV before. More so because I didn't trust myself, not because I can't drill a hole. And it was an 80-inch TV. And I was like, man, the guy that did it's now going on to heaven. God rest his soul. But little medial tasks. Even if we're not talking about hanging TVs, cooking dinner with your family every night. It's that stuff that keeps our minds busy. Going to the gym every day is maybe a better example. It's a body in motion is so much healthier for you than anything else you can do. A little bit of personal life here. When I was going through that breakup a few months ago, it was pretty hard, because it was unexpected. I didn't sign up to be a part of that. So I battled some depression and stuff. And what I did to overcome that and to beat that and to get into a much better place is I worked out twice a day, religiously. And I don't mean just little workouts either. I mean intense workouts, full weight, whatever, with chest and triceps, whatever you would do at the gym, whatever your gym routine is. And then a 3 to 5 mile run, ruck, whatever on the treadmill. I'm just getting to where I'm doing it, rucking outside. I'm sorry. It's just too damn hot in Mississippi to go do cardio outside in the summer. I ain't about that life. I ain't built like that. I'm built different, but I ain't built that different. That's crazy talk. I don't want to die. I'm trying to get healthy, not to kill myself. But it was the body in motion kept me sane. And he brought up these little medial tasks, and we've gotten away from doing these things. And we've got so much free time on our hands. And we're constantly doom strolling on social media, on our phones. What's Bob got that I don't? His girlfriend's more attractive than mine. His wife's hotter than mine, or if you're a female. Or his truck's nicer than mine. They live in Reunion. What's this pineapples? Anyway, you're a girl, same thing. You're constantly comparing your life to somebody else's on your phone. And it creates this anxiety, and you got all this negative news coming at you. And the people I know that are mentally the healthiest are the people who handle their own little medial task every day, who stay busy, who are physically fit. I think there's a lot to be said for being mentally healthy when you learn self-discipline. Because it feels good. When you finish those little medial tasks, it feels good to have finished them. Even if you go to the gym, you have a bad workout. So, hey, at least I went. You're sick. You didn't feel like going to work. At least you went. I didn't feel like doing a radio show Wednesday. It was the last day. It was the last day of the week before the holiday. Wasn't a whole lot of news. Couldn't find much to talk about. But I came in here and I burned the boats, so to say. We got a very controversial show. But I left here thinking to myself, that was a hell of a show. That was a hell of a show. I'm glad I did that. Anyway, do with that information as you wish. But if you're struggling with anything right now, you're battling a little depression, find some things to keep you moving, to keep you busy, whether it's cooking, cleaning. I cleaned the house all day yesterday. Cooking, cleaning, going to the gym, doing stuff with your kids, going bowling. Get that body moving a little bit. Let's take a break. Come back, and we'll dive into all of the political incendiary content that we're so well known for here on the Clay Edwards Show on 103.9 FM, WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB, streaming worldwide across all the big social media apps in 4K at Save JXN, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, X. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, X. Yep, got it right. Got the 4 of them there. Of course, we are on the FM dial at 103.9. And, hey, guys, call in to the show this morning. We'd love to hear from y'all. 601-879-0002 is the Mazda of Jackson phone line. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Had an unknown texter chimed in. I had a couple of them real quick. Unknown texter says, COVID lockdowns changed our lives forever. They did. And I believe you're kind of referencing what I was talking about, do all those little mundane tasks. A lot of people just got out of doing anything. Complete bodies out of motion. Just let everything be delivered. They wasn't going to the grocery store anymore. Wasn't going to school. Wasn't going to work. And how do I say this properly? We're going to look back at the COVID era and the damage that it's done to our children for a generation. It's been a generation of damage done to the mental psyche of people who are already on the edge. I want to be careful about this because I don't want to call everybody that got negatively affected mentally by COVID and by the lockdowns. I don't want to sit here and just be like, throw the baby out with the bathwater and be like, oh, a bunch of weak-minded sissies. Because, everybody deals with stuff differently. And I know I have a problem, if you want to call it that, with being a bit of a bull in a china shop and throwing the baby out with the bathwater sometimes. Because I just always assume that if you know I'm not talking to you, just because you may fall under a certain category of people I'm talking about, I just always give people the benefit of the doubt and assume that I'm not talking about you. Because every situation is different, and I think context is highly important. I've oftentimes thought about starting a new show and call it Context Matters, or just changing the name of this show to Context Matters. But with that said, we created a lot of unnecessary mental illness with people. I mean, I watched somebody that I lived with fall completely off a cliff into the bottom of a bottle of alcohol. And frankly, I don't know if she's ever come back from it. Maybe she has. I haven't talked to her. So I've seen it firsthand, what COVID did to people that were already kind of teetering on the edge of just, because most of us at the end of the day are teetering on the edge. Like you would blow 1 inch to the left and we fall off the cliff. We blow 1 inch to the right and we achieve all of our dreams. It doesn't take much to get blown to the left. It takes a hurricane to get blown to the right, but anyway. So yeah, COVID definitely changed our lives forever. Somebody else also asked on the Guns and Gear text line if I thought eggnog and Fireball would go well together. It don't sound terrible. It doesn't sound terrible. It's usually really good with any kind of rum chata, like white rums, stuff like that. Gambino, I get this at 042 Wine and Spirits. They're the only place around here that I know that gets it. 042 Wine and Spirits during Mardi Gras season, they get a Gambino King Cake rum, and I think they get one shipment of it. And when it's gone, it's gone. It usually doesn't last more than a day or two. I try to grab 2 bottles just to last all year. I hadn't even gotten into the second one yet. But instead of using rum chata, I like to mix the Fireball and that. Because if you mix rum chata and Fireball, and I know we should be talking about liquor first thing on a Monday morning here, but since we brought it up, you mix rum chata and Fireball, it's called a Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or Fire and Ice, but it tastes like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Really good. But I like to, instead of rum chata, I like to do the king cake rum with the Fireball. So good. So good. Get nice and lubed up, primed up. Maybe lubed up wasn't the best choice of words there. Nice and primed up for that Brandon Mardi Gras parade. It's always fun with those. Anyway, this segment, talk about a transition here. This segment brought to you by Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge Automotive Center down in Crystal Springs, Mississippi. Guys, it is the season for giving. Not forgiving people, but for giving to people. I guess you can forgive people too. If any of y'all have ever made me mad, I forgive you. But it's season for giving. If you got an old vehicle sitting around that you're thinking about trading in somewhere, you're thinking about selling, maybe you just want it out of your yard. Maybe you got a neighbor that's got a vehicle sitting over there in their yard that you would like to see going out of their yard. Did you know that you can donate a vehicle to Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge to get the tax write-off? And you don't even have to have the title. Now, I don't know if you got to have I think you probably have to have the title to get the tax write-off. But at minimum, they'll come haul it off. Work out the details with them. I don't want to tell you wrong. And I'm not telling you to have your neighbor's car towed without their permission either. I know that all kind of ran together there. Wouldn't that be funny? Donate your neighbor's vehicle that you're tired of seeing without their permission. Anyway, don't do that. Do not do that. I'm just saying it would be funny. But anyway, give Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge a call. Check them out online, mercyhouseautocenter.com. Let them come out. They'll pick up the vehicle. You don't have to do anything. No work necessary. You're going to get the tax write-off for it here at the end of the year. Business owners, 1099 employees, people that have to pay the government a lump sum every year. That's real money out your checking account. That's cash money that you don't have to send them. And regular folks, too. You know, they get you all death by 1,000 paper cuts, so it may not seem as significant. But, man, it does wonders. It helps fund the Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge operation, which is helping people beat addictions, put fathers back in homes. And that's a big deal here. Something we're very passionate about on this program is helping people beat their addictions when they're ready to. When they're ready to help beat their addiction. You got a place down there in Georgetown, Mississippi that'll help do it. All right, maybe you just need a vehicle. Want to spend $10,000 to $15,000? They got you covered. Check them out, mercyhouseautocenter.com. All right, let's jump in here this morning. Pull up my notes. Let me pull y'all's chats up on the screen here. I have not done that yet. Get y'all guys that are watching online in on the action this morning. Y'all are a bigger part of as big of a part of the show as I am. Let's see here. Get over to my notes. I got it all ready. On top of my game this morning. Shout out to Matt Bishop, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every morning here on WYAB. Does such a great job with the full story. He really took a deep dive into the Kash Patel as FBI director, being appointed or being nominated to be the director of the FBI. You can go back and listen to that on his podcast. Just search the full story. Here's what's funny. You remember when Donald Trump got arrested? Or when they went on the witch hunt on Donald Trump? Joe Biden, the venerable Joe from Scranton. Have you ever heard somebody refer to themselves as being somewhere and just automatically know you would hate that place? I hate Scranton. I hate it. I don't ever want to go to Scranton. If Joe Biden is from there and there's more people like him, no need to ever go to Scranton. I'm good. Let's make that the question of the day on the online chat, in the comment section, and on the Guns and Gear text line. Or you can call in too with it. What is a city that you never ever want to go to just because somebody you don't like is from there? That's Scranton for Clay Edwards. But Joe, back on May 31st, 2024, the year of our Lord, said no one is above the law. Chokwe, he's talking about you. Jody Owens, he's talking about you. Aaron Banks, he's talking about you. Angelique Lee. DeMar Smith, or whatever her name was, talking about you. Nobody is above the law. Fast forward a little bit here. Let's fast forward just a little bit here, shall we? Breaking news. Joe Biden pardons crackhead, alleged pedophile, son, Hunter, of any and all crimes committed from 2014 to midnight last night, 11:59 p.m. But I was told, Clay Edwards was told that laptop was Russian misinformation. I was told nobody's above the law. But apparently, Hunter Biden's above the law. Apparently, Joe Biden is above the law. You know, I had accepted the fact that we were never going to press charges on Joe Biden. That we were never going to get to see old Joe do the perp walk. I reconciled that with the Supreme Court decision of presidential immunity. It's like, all right, whatever. We get Trump. Joe don't go to jail. It is what it is. But, you know, Joe's crimes were committed before he's committed war crimes as president. He's committed crimes against humanity as president. Let's just be honest there. That mandatory jab is a crime against humanity and deserves the ultimate punishment at some point in time. The Burisma stuff, however, does not fall under presidential immunity. So expect Joe Biden to, in fact, pardon himself, as Clay Edwards would, too. But you know what Clay Edwards wouldn't do? Pursue my political enemies with the FBI, while I was, in fact, also a criminal. I try to have a strict rule about not throwing rocks from within my glass house. That's why I try to be very honest with y'all about all of my demons, past, present, and future. Just because I try to be very relatable, and I try to be very, very brutally honest with y'all. These MFers ain't being honest with us. Anyway, I got so much I want to say about this, and I want to hear you guys' opinions on it too. The Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. You want to call in this morning after the next break here. The Guns of Gear text line is 769-241-1944. Let's see here. I got so much saved here. I didn't do as good of a job. Donald Trump had a response for it. Donald Trump says, this is on Truth Social, does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the J6 hostages? I love that Trump said hostages, not prisoners. He says, include the J6 hostages who have now been in prison for years. Such an abuse and miscarriage of justice. I love that. I love that. And what I'm seeing here, oh, by the way, back to Joe Biden's no one is above the law. It got community noted on X, which if you're not familiar, that's basically, it got fact checked by the community. Community notes are spectacular. Your boy's never been community noted, by the way, because I don't post lies on the internet. The community note reads, and we're going to take our break after this because I ran over that first segment. It says, by pardoning his son Hunter, not merely for a single crime, but for all actual or potential crimes he may or may not have created over an 11-year period, Joe Biden has made clear that some people are, in fact, above the law. They had to community note the President of the United States because he is a lying sack of feces. And y'all know this is not the first time he's been community noted. I want to know where all the press is that has spent the last 8 years calling Donald Trump a liar. All the black for a living Democrats, every other word out of their mouth, half the ones that call this radio station, the ones that call Kim Wade's show in particular, Donald Trump's a liar. All he does is tell lies. Everything out his mouth a lie. Where y'all at? My president ain't been community noted. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. All right, I'm going to stay online with y'all for a minute. I want to read some of your comments here. Hope everybody's having a great morning. Hey, guys, I just extended my Black Friday sale for Cyber Monday. You like the shirt I'm wearing? I got it in hoodies. I got the shirt. I got the other shirt available too. The blackout tag edition. Boom. There's the hoodie. There's the shirt. And, of course, here's the hoodie version of the shirt I'm wearing. The drawstrings on the hoodies are actually white, so it looks a little better than the images. Buy a shirt or a hoodie, and you get the next T-shirt. I can't include hoodies in this. They cost too much money. But if you buy a shirt or a hoodie at regular price, you can get another shirt for 50% off at buyfafo.com. No promo code needed. The sale ends at 11:30 tonight. It would not let me go to midnight. I don't know why. Anyway, 11:30 tonight, the sale ends. I extended the Black Friday sale to include Cyber Monday during the last break. So you guys want to support what we do, this is a great way to do it. And let's just be honest, you look like a badass wearing a F around and find out shirt. Like, people are going to turn heads and it's a conversation starter. I think my new girlfriend is my new girlfriend because I was wearing one of these shirts out and she was like, oh my God, what does that mean? You're sexy. I was like, yeah. F around and find out what it means. Anyway, Mike says, I don't use Facebook. Peekaboo, I think he just says he pooped his pants. Michael, welcome back, pal. I'm going to come see you this week, Michael. It may damn well be today. All right, everybody keeps asking me about the chick in Glux, in Ridgeland from Renaissance, the black chick. Loser. Everybody keeps asking me what happened to her on the false report. Guys, I have done a terrible job as your favorite radio host and media personality following up on that. I truly have. Let's see. Let's see if we can hear her here. Loser. I love it. That will never get old. That will never, ever get old. Let me make sure we're not, all right. I had to check the schedule to make sure we're not running over. Now, Aso Duro says it precipitated a reason to wear the mask to hide their faces. I'm talking about the COVID stuff. Yes. And God knows there's nothing less attractive than a Democrat, than a liberal. It gave them like confidence because they could hide their face. Very unattractive people. I've never seen a Democrat I wanted to sleep with. Mike J says, I think people from other states would say they never want to go to Jackson. I don't see the Jackson image ever improving. The people of Jackson destroyed their city and image. I know what you're saying there, but I'm referring to, is there a city that is so closely associated with a person that you do not ever want to go to that city? I got to take a quick moment of silence. We're getting ready to come back from the commercial break. I don't need my voice bleeding over. breaking rules when necessary. I really love that phrase. I really do. It is. We don't say it as much as we used to. I mean, y'all know I don't ever type it on the internet because I can't spell necessary right. But man, of all the little isms and catchphrases we've come up with on this show the last almost 4 years, the first Monday of February will be 4 years we've been doing this on the radio. That to me, that's the one that is the most honest, the most truthful, that best describes what we do here. We break rules when necessary. I'm really proud of that one. I wish the abbreviation for it wasn't Brown, BRWN, but it is. So we don't. I don't do the abbreviation of it too much. But anyway, let's see here. Lunch today, guys. How about have you tried the Manship lately? Do you know that they got all day lunch specials down there? I think it's $15. I think that lasts all day. Definitely till 2:00. Definitely till 2:00. The Manship right there across the street from the Baptist Hospital on State Street. One of the nicest, best restaurants in all of Mississippi is right there in the heart of Belhaven. Owned by a good buddy of mine. Just good folks, great food. Did you know that their pizzas, first off, did you know that they had stone fire cooked pizzas? And they're half off for happy hour? They got drink specials, $5 select barrel whiskey shots, stuff like that. But they got half off pizzas. The Blue Plate, and you just imagine, when you're talking about a restaurant, it's nice and it's of high quality as the Manship. You can go in and get a plate lunch for $15. Now, I know that may sound high, just off the top of the head, just saying $15 for a plate lunch. It ain't. And you get your drink with it. That includes your soft drink. You really can't beat that. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, we're talking about like high quality stuff here. I mean, everywhere I go and sit down and eat lunch, it's $25. I mean, I get the Blue Plate and an appetizer, and we usually split the appetizer, some cheese sticks or something between 3 or 4 people. My tab's $25. And I typically drink water. I'm just saying, I'm not even complaining about that. I mean, everything's high. Cost of living's high. Thanks, Joe Biden. But it'll be coming down in January, hopefully. Anyway, consider the Manship and let them handle your holiday catering as well. Check out their Facebook page, Manship Jackson, and look at all the holiday catering menu. Lots of great stuff available there. Maybe you need to throw a little Christmas function for your business or for your friends like we like to do with our FAFO Fridays. Consider doing it at the Manship. They can handle from 1 to 100 people in their little rooms and stuff they have available there. We'll be telling you a lot more about the Manship in the coming months here on the Clay Edwards Show. Just consider them for lunch today and for your holiday catering needs. Let's see here. Let's check out some Guns and Gear text just to run it down and catch up here. We got a whole another hour to go this morning. Reagankin says, loathe the Bodency, but I would not pardon my son, no matter who won the election. Loathe the Bidens, but I would not pardon my son, no matter who won. Okay, I see. He had a typo there. So he loathes the Bidens, but he would not pardon his son. Well, man, not very many texts this morning. The text machine is slow this morning. Mike J on the comments section says, I think people from other states would say that they'd never want to go to Jackson. We discussed that during the break. But I am curious, like, what city do you all consider somewhere you don't want to go based on somebody that you know is famous for that city? For me, it's Scranton. I don't ever want to go to Scranton. No interest. If that city produced Joe Biden, I don't ever want to go. I don't want to go to Detroit either. I'm kind of conflicted on that because I do love Kid Rock. But I equally dislike Eminem. I'm like, I mean, plus it's kind of a third world hellhole now, too. It is on the come up. It is on the come up. But make no mistakes, the Lumumbas are from Detroit. The Free the Land Free the People are from Detroit. I don't know if I want to, if it produced them, I'm pretty sure I don't want to go there either. That's going to be the tiebreaker for me. You got Bob Seger and Kid Rock over here and Joe Louis, but you got Eminem and the Lumumba's over here. I'm going to let my hate out my heart today and just say I ain't going to Detroit based on that. But shout out to our friends down at Steve's Deli in downtown Jackson, avid supporters of the show. Now, if y'all want something different, want to hit the deli up, hit up Steve's downtown. Good folks, good food. Supporters of the show. That matters to me. That matters to me. All right, we got to take our last break. Take our last break here for the first hour. Come back, and then we'll have our top of the hour news break. And of course, I want to get into Kash Patel. Very excited about this. Now, there's other hosts on this network, particularly Jameson Haygood, who's going to do a way better job explaining the Kash Patel, how important the Kash Patel appointment is today. But I'm going to kind of give you the layman's version of why you should be excited and why Democrats are shaking in their thongs and their bottom surgeries are all agitated this morning. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. All right, let's see here. Man, we got a bunch. Hey, everybody, hit like, hit share if you don't mind. Hit share wherever you're watching this. Let's get these numbers up. Man, I'm excited. I feel good this week. Started the week off feeling good. I wouldn't say I got a good night's sleep. I got a good 5 hours sleep. I stayed up to midnight last night, and just cleaning the house was just pumped up, man. The Hunter Biden news dropped kind of late last night. So I was up trying to get everybody's reactions to it, see what the world was saying about it. I do have some funny video clips that we'll play in the next hour, particularly of Karine Jean-Pierre, the gay black vagina White House spokesperson, repeatedly saying that Joe Biden would not pardon Hunter. Oh, no. What was that? Homer Simpson? No. Wrong again. Wrong again. Let's see here. I want to talk some sports too. We do a sports show every Saturday. This past Saturday, Kingfish did it with me, filled in for Sean because Sean was out down on the coast at his parents' house for Thanksgiving. We do it at McBee's every Saturday morning. And sports is going to become a bigger part of my platform moving forward. I don't know if I bleed it into this show some or start doing a daily podcast, a little quick 20, 30 minute, however long it takes, podcast that's sports related, that's separate from this show. But I think the Clay Travis model, the Outkick model, works so well. Look, man, at the end of the day, we're from the South. We like sports. We all kind of like sports, surely. I mean, I got a little disgusted with the politics of sports during COVID and quit watching as much. But I also came to this realization that I'm not going to let Democrats steal my joy. Those joyful warriors aren't going to steal things that I enjoy, trying to ruin it for me. I mean, look what they tried to steal Twitter from us. And we stole the whole damn thing back from them. So we can win. Like, look at the NFL. They have all that racism shit in the end zone. And all that Black Lives Matter crap. And now you got black dudes out there doing the Trump dance. What I've seen over the last 4 years is if you just got to stay in the fight. You really do. You just got to stay in the fight. You got to stay on the battlefield. So for the example of that is sports in this conversation. Stopping watching because they disagree with us politically, that lets them win. It means they won. It's like if you don't vote, you don't get to complain. If you quit watching, you don't get to complain. I don't know, bad analogy, but we're going to continue watching sports. And we're going to continue talking about sports. And that's what I think, back to Clay Travis and Outkick. He does a really good job with his show of weaving in and out of politics, pop culture, and sports. And if I'm doing a show and I'm being 100% truthful and honest with myself and y'all, and this show's just a big mirror pointed, it's a mirror image of me. Sports needs to be a part of it to an extent. And I'm not talking about breaking down scores and highlights necessary, but sports stories. I got to take a moment of silence as we come back from the break. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. We got about a minute before the top of the hour break. During the top of the hour break, I will be staying live on the online stream, doing a little sports talk over there if you're watching online. If that's not your thing, just keep it tuned on the radio. The top of the hour news break will come. I saw our very own Chris Davis out, our news guy. He was playing Saturday night at Acme Pizza and Daiquiris. Wow, what an amazing performer he is. Does the solo guitar thing. He was singing a bunch of Christmas tunes. Pretty cool there. But Chris also does a show here every Friday, the Arts and Soul Hour, Arts and Music Hour, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield, where he interviews Mississippi-based musicians. Really good show. Inherited that from Jim Thorne and has kept the flame burning there. All right, man, when we come back, we're going to dive into a bunch of clips and a bunch of stuff on Kash Patel. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Stay tuned. Back to sports during this break here. First off, Kamala Cockgobbler Harris says on YouTube, there's no way I wasn't saying the full name. Sorry if you got kids listening. I'm unburdened by what has been because of the passage of time is the passage of time. And the significance of the passage of time is what makes the passage of time the passage of time. Kamala Harris, what an honor to have cackling, camel toes Kamala watching on YouTube this morning. She also says, sports are woke, not stop wokeness in sports. I quit watching in 2020. I did too. And that was the whole point of my last little rant there is I stopped watching also. And ironically, stop watching sports is what led me to doing all this. It created this big vacuum of time, of free time that I had. And I'm very proud, just if I'm going to toot my own horn here, of what I was able to do with that free time that I was wasting watching sports. And I parlayed that into an entire new career that I had no idea, didn't even know I wanted to do this. But one thing led to another, led to another, led to another, because I wasn't watching sports anymore, that I was able to focus on this. And for, it was weird for the longest time when I was doing this. I didn't even really realize what I was doing as far as like not watching sports. It was 2020. There wasn't a whole lot of sports there. There was a window of time where there wasn't much. And I spent a lot of time fighting for them to play sports, particularly high school sports here in Mississippi. I don't regret any of that. I'm glad I did it. Speaking of high school sports, shout out to the Brandon Bulldogs. They're going to be playing for the 7A state title this Saturday down in Hattiesburg against the undefeated Tupelo team. Tupelo's a good team. We'll see what happens. I think it's Brandon's turn. I think Brandon, they're playing hot. They went down to Ocean Springs, won a huge road game to make it to the state championships. They've been my adopted team for about the last 10 years since Gardner Minshew was a freshman there. Now I'm a Brandonian, so I am pulling for Brandon. So good luck to the Brandon Bulldogs and whoever else. I haven't even looked at the rest of the brackets to see if any other local teams, private or public school, are playing for state titles. But good luck to everybody that is. Bring it home to Central Mississippi. But we did on the sports thing, and weaving that in and out of the content here. I don't know, I guess I'm asking y'all's opinion. Is that something that interests y'all a little bit? Weaving in and out of those stories when it makes sense. Like I said, I'm not talking about turning this into a scores and highlights and breaking down recruiting type stuff. At least not on the big show. Maybe do that online. I don't know. Just thoughts. I was kind of thinking like the Clay Edwards Show. Politics, culture, sports. And we talk about some crazy things on this show. Let me talk to the men out there listening real quick. Guys, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction, fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, brain fog, sleep disturbances? Hey, low libido, ask your girlfriend or wife. She'll let you know if you're suffering from that or not. That's sex drive. If you'll text my name, Clay, in all caps to 601-327-8550, 601-327-8550, Men's Health of Mississippi and the Clay Edwards Show are going to hook you up with a free testosterone screening. They're located in Madison, Mississippi at 120 Fountains Boulevard. You can check them out online, menshealthms.com. But one more time, text my name, all caps, Clay, to 601-327-8550 and get your free testosterone screening scheduled today. Enjoy the rest of this show. To try to keep Trump so busy that he wouldn't have time to go after them and to do investigations and all of that. Because they know they have broken the law on unspeakable levels, allegedly, of course. And it appears that that's exactly what they're trying to do, is start a hot war over in, or make a hot war hot, or a nuclear war in Ukraine. I mean, they are pushing, Russia's going scorched earth right now. They're carpet bombing, glass and everything over in Syria and stuff. So don't be surprised if something gets nuked between now and then. Don't be surprised at all. All right, we're coming back from the break. A little moment of silence here real quick. Boom goes the dynamite. Or maybe it's a nuke in Russia as the Biden administration tries to make one of my predictions come true and start World War III before Trump takes office. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. We're live here on 103.9 FM WYAB, streaming on the WYAB.com and Alexa and the TuneIn app. Just search WYAB. If you want to watch this crap show in 4K, live in color, you can do that live or on delay, or on demand when it's over. It'll still be up on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Just type in Save JXN. This segment brought to you by our good friends over at A1 Gear and Auto, Highway 49 South in Florence, Mississippi. Get by, see Justin and the team today. If you're having any automotive issues, whether it's a check engine light, squeaky brakes, need an oil change, they can do it all at A1 Gear and Auto. What they specialize in, however, is your ring and pinion. You may not understand what that is or what that does, but you, in fact, will know when it messes up. I can assure you. Hey, it's hunting season. Guys, there's a good chance you're going to tear out your four-wheel drive ring and pinion, or your rear end, or your front end, your transfer case. Don't take it to a dealership. They're going to charge you an arm and a leg. Take it to the pros, to the industry leader here in Central Mississippi. A1 Gear and Auto, let them get you taken care of. The only thing they don't do at A1 Gear and Auto is diesel engine repair. And there's going to be some European stuff here and there that pops up. They'll refer you to a specialist if it's something they don't want to tackle. And I respect that. I respect somewhere that says, you're better served taking this somewhere else instead of me trying to do it. That's good stuff there. Also, the owner himself, Justin, gets in these vehicles, if they're drivable. He diagnoses things himself. Diagnose it right the first time. That saves time and money. It's ready when they say it's going to be ready, so you can plan accordingly. Unless they stumble across something else along the way or there's a delay on parts and shipping, it's going to be fixed when he says it's going to be fixed. And it's not going to break the bank doing it like if you took it to a new car dealership. Unfortunately, those new car dealerships, those service departments, those fund the operation. I worked in those dealerships for a long, long time. And the service department is the heartbeat of those dealerships. So if you can save some money taking it to an independent mechanic, you are much better served doing so. Consider A1 Gear and Auto Florence, Mississippi, Highway 49 South, big white building, big red sign. All right. Let's see here. Let's go check in on our favorite lesbian in Washington, D.C. Let's go back and listen to some of her lies about Joe Biden not pardoning his crackhead alleged pedophile son, Hunter. Because we were all told on multiple occasions that he would in fact not be pardoning his son. So let's listen to Kareem here.
Second one, would the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
Okay. Let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
You've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute the sentence for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
Oops. Oops. I guess the diversity hire did not get the memo. He in fact did pardon Hunter. Here's a clip from MSNBC by a fellow named Andrew Weissman, and that may be some popular Democrat analyst. I don't know who he is. I don't keep up with who all the Democrats are. Sorry if I'm supposed to know who he is, but I know he was wrong here. So we're going to run through some of the media's self-flatulations about what a great man Joe Biden is, because nobody's above the law, not even his son Hunter.
What is before us is a president who is living the rule of law. He is living it in in the most personal way. He is not pardoning his son, which he could do. These are federal charges. Right. He is not doing that. He is not doing it because he is living what it means to have a rule of law in this country. Yeah. And then if you want to know if he believes it, you could actually see what is happening with his own son. I'm not saying that he should get credit for it because it is the right thing to do.
That's the norm, but Trump is beneath it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that the idea that you can't see it, or is that really what's going on? Or when you can see what he is actually living by is his own son is being prosecuted, and he is allowing the norms that are required to live in a democracy to go forward.
Democracy. I love when they say democracy. You think, never mind, that's too inappropriate to say on the radio. I don't want to offend my gay friends. Oh, let's see here. Little LOL Democrats this morning. How about John Harwood, an esteemed journalist? Well, he has now been community noted. Back on June 13th, John said, people who insist Biden will pardon Hunter after specifically ruling it out are telling on themselves. They can't imagine someone acting on principle and keeping his word. Oops. Community Note says, readers added context they thought people would want to know. On December 1st, 2024, President Joe Biden announced that he had, in fact, pardoned his son, Hunter. Now, I was listening to Le Salté Cracker last night, and Salty brought up a good point. If you'll go back, if you'll look at the start date, Sorry, I'm getting the mic out of my way here. If you look at the start date of when, I think I saved the link, of when they said this was started. Actually, it's really covering Joe's butt more than anything. Jack Posobiec had a tweet last night that apparently Hunter threatened Joe with a tell-all book this weekend. Said he was writing a tell-all book. And by the end of the weekend, Joe pardoned him. That's not an accident. Now here's what I was looking for. This is from Liz Wheeler. There's a reason they picked 2014 for the crimes to be covered. It says Hunter Biden joined the board of Burisma in 2014. By pardoning Hunter for any crimes he may have committed from 2014 to 2024, Joe Biden is protecting his family criminal cartel. This pardon ain't about the gun charge. The big guy is protecting himself from Kash Patel. And that brings us to Cash Money millionaire, Mr. Kash Patel. This was the dream appointment. I mean, Gates would have been nice. That would have been fun. It was fun watching all the rainbow supremacist hair catch on fire as we tried to sneak Gates in the back door. Not that back door, lefties. Not that back door. Y'all would have liked that. But no, the proverbial back door. Not the literal one. It was fun. But that was a red herring. That was so we could see who was a loyalist and who was a rhino commie cuck. And we know, and we'll move forward appropriately. Kash Patel was always the dream appointment. I mean, I would like for Kash Patel to be president one day. It would suit me fine if we had two Indians, real Indians, there in the White House somehow or another. A Ramaswamy Patel ticket. Gas station owners everywhere unite. Nah, love those guys, man. Love those guys. Could you imagine that? Ramaswamy. Let's just start calling him Vivek. Vivek and Cash. That sounds way better. It is kind of funny the thought of a Patel being on a presidential ticket. Anyway, he gets tapped to lead the FBI. And you want to know how scared the libs are? Joe Biden pardoned Hunter before we could even get out of Thanksgiving weekend. That tells you all you need to know. Y'all need to check out Kash Patel's book, Government Gangsters. I've got it on Audible. I think I have the hardback version too. It's called Government Gangsters, isn't it? You know, I'm pretty sure that's the name. I put it in the thumbnail of today's show video. Let's see here. I got all kind of stuff here. I got all kind of reactions. How about nutjob liberal Joe Walsh, who has been ride or die Biden, anti-Trump. How about, I mean, the rats are fleeing the ship, and it is a glorious thing to watch. Guys, we have had a great November. Or as conservatives have had a great November, liberals had a really, really bad November, and December is not starting off any better for them. I mean, Hunter Biden getting pardoned is not a victory for the Dems. It's an admission of defeat. Don't be upset that Hunter got pardoned. That is an admission of defeat. I love it. I'm here for it. Let me make one quick adjustment here. We are going to play this video right now. This is Joe Walsh coping.
Walsh, welcome, Congressman Walsh. What do you make of all of this? What is likely to be the response on Capitol Hill to this breaking news?
Good to be with you. See, I told you so. They're all like that. So the next time any of us complain about anything Trump does, this pardon is just deflating. For those of us who have been out there for a few years now yelling about what a unique threat Donald Trump is.
See, what did I just say? This gives us ammunition. This is an admission that they are a crooked, corrupt crime family. And any lefty that tries to tell you, but 34 felonies, spit in their face with this.
For Joe Biden to do something like this, Trump, nobody's above the law, we've been screaming. Well, Joe Biden just made clear his son Hunter is above the law. Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth, we've been screaming.
But he's never been community noted.
Joe Biden repeatedly lied about this. The politicization of the justice system. Donald Trump and his people have been screaming. Well, that's exactly what Biden said here.
Joe, is this a politics of purity? I mean, we had Donald Trump pardon Sheriff Joe Arpaio during his term, and there wasn't a lot of hue and cry about that. I mean, this is a father who saw his first wife killed, his daughter killed in a car crash, his two young sons survive. One goes on to have real difficulties with addiction. Another dies because of cancer. This is a family that's really troubled. I mean, yes, he said he wasn't going to do this, but did anyone ever believe that that was the case? I mean, I would have put good money on this happening.
Yes, Democrats believed he wasn't going to do it. Of course they believed it. They believe everything. They believe face masks worked. They believe men can be women. You don't think they believe this? I could do a whole show about things that Democrats believe that are not real.
Happening. Like, are many people going to be surprised that a father who is also the president would do this for his son?
I don't know that people will be surprised because you're right. Joe Biden repeatedly said he wouldn't do this. So he repeatedly lied. But this just further.
The same media that lied and carried water for Joe Biden's administration and for Joe Biden's quote-unquote mental health for the last 4 years, particularly the last year, he's sharper than he's ever been. Democrats believed that. They believed that Joe was mentally sharper than he's ever been. Of course they believed this.
The cynicism that people have about politics, and that cynicism strengthens Trump because Trump can just say, I'm not a unique threat. Everybody does this. Mm-hmm. If I do something for my kid, my son-in-law, whatever, look, Joe Biden does the same thing. I get it, but this was a selfish move by Biden, which politically only strengthens Trump. It's just deflating.
All right, Joe Walsh, big hot take, and we're going to stay with this. But you also.
Trump better pardon every J6er on day one. He now has a mandate, too. Pardon every J6er on day one. My buddy Sean doesn't think we should be going after our political enemies, so to say. Thinks that Trump should just let it go. Otherwise, it's going to keep going forever. I wholeheartedly disagree. The Democrats that have done what they've done to this country for the last 4 years, last 8 years, to be honest, starting with General Malley comes to mind as one who should be court-martialed and fed to the sharks. People need to pay for what they have done. And if it starts us down a slippery slope to being a kangaroo country, a banana republic, then so be it. There will be blood. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. Let's play a glorious clip here of Democrats telling us nobody's above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one 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 is above the law.
This is an image for those on radio of Hunter and his team getting up and walking right up out of a congressional hearing because they didn't want to answer mean questions.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I do apologize for that last little bit of language there. I did not listen to the end during the break, but hey, that's live radio. It happens. Nobody's above the law. Of course, except Democrats that break it. Well, white Democrats. You know what? Let's jump down that rabbit hole, shall we? I like that. I like this. This is an accident. Every now and then we stumble upon something. How about that? Black folks, black Democrats in Jackson, Mississippi, Chokwe, Antar, Lumumba supporters. How do y'all feel about that? He coming after y'all. He coming after your people. I keep telling y'all, Joe Biden is a racist. White Democrats are racist. They started the Klan. I mean, come on. Quit gaslighting folks. They started the Klan. You know who the racists are. You think Chokwe and Jody going to get a pardon? You think the Free the Landers are getting a pardon? No, they're not. You know who just got a pardon? The white privileged crackhead. White privilege is real if you're a Democrat, but not for much longer. Help is coming. Let me rephrase that. Hell is coming, and he's bringing us with him. January 20th, 2025, Washington, D.C., Project 2025 starts. See, we've been lying to y'all. We told y'all that Project 2025 really wasn't us. Oh, it is. It's us. We're going to execute every last bit of it. Your body, my choice. Oh, that's so good. It's so good. The white, rich, privileged, crackhead Democrat son of the President of the United States got pardoned while the black Democrat politicians that his Department of Justice came after for, honestly, let's just be honest, much less crimes. I mean, as much as I hate Chokwe and Jody and despise them and think they should die in jail, like because they go for so long, not because they get killed there, like I think they should spend the rest of their natural lives in prison for crimes against humanity in Jackson, Mississippi. What Chokwe has done, what Hunter has done is marketably worse than what those two clowns could ever concoct up in their pea brains. I'm serious. I want somebody to call in and defend this. Or give me an honest opinion. I got any black dyed-in-the-wool Democrats listening this morning? Big Chokwe supporters. Serious conversation here. I want a response. What do y'all think about this? Is this fair? Do you think differently about Joe Biden now? Do you believe me now? I'm taking a victory lap on this one. Phone line, Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. if you want to call in. 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. Or you can comment here on the live feed on social media, and I will read it there. Angela, one of my favorite guests. Angela, we need to get you back in here. Talk about some of this stuff with the Mike magazine. She says he should pardon them, but he ain't gonna pardon them. She also says Bobby Lauder here in Mississippi should have gotten a pardon from President Obama and never did. So let's see here. Obviously I disagree. I don't think they should be pardoned. That is not the outcome that Clay Edwards is looking for. The outcome that Clay Edwards is looking for, I'm an agent of chaos. I want whatever the most chaotic outcome possible could be. I want the most embarrassing outcome for the Free the Landers and the Jacksonians who have repeatedly voted for the Free the Landers. I want the most embarrassing outcome for them possible. So here's what I'm proposing happen. And this is probably the most likely outcome, because I just have zero faith in Jacksonians to do the right thing. Now, I want to see my boy Kim Wade become mayor. I do. But let's play this through. Let's just say Chokwe wins re-election. I mean, I don't know what the gambling odds are, if anybody's put any legitimate gambling odds out there. But he's going to play this Donald Trump card of its political warfare. It's a political witch hunt. They want to replace him. Really? The Democrats want to replace a Democrat? Shut up. It's too stupid to be stupid. But again, we're talking about Jacksonians here. He's going to play this me against the world, me against the establishment BS. This black versus white. Y'all know he ain't scared to play the race card. It's his only card he's got is the race card. They've actually started putting 52 cards? 53 cards in a deck of cards now, and the race card is one of them with his face. Anyway. And I believe that a lot of Jacksonians will hitch their wagon to that horse. He's fighting for us. He's fighting for us. They want to arrest him because they hate us. You're going to say the same thing Donald Trump says. The only difference is Donald Trump means it. It's true with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not guilty of any actual crimes. It was, in fact, a witch hunt, and that is why we supported Donald Trump. If Donald Trump was, in fact, a criminal, we would not support Donald Trump. And that is the separation that you guys mostly do not understand. I would think if anybody understood rigged political witch hunt trials, rigged criminal justice trials, that it would be black folks. They've been sending y'all to prison and jail for a long time for crimes you did not commit. Why suddenly y'all believe that they didn't do that to Donald Trump and that the criminal justice system is without flaw is gaslighting at its finest. Making sure I finish my thought there before we take the break. Was there something else I was going to say? Let me think about it for a second. Anyway, so let me finish this. So the dream scenario that I think brings the most shame and embarrassment onto the Lumumbas, the Free the Landers, the Republican New Africaners, and Jacksonians who have supported Chokwe is Chokwe win and then get found guilty and have to step down as mayor as a convicted felon and go to prison as mayor. That is the ultimate victory lap for one Clay Edwards. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on WYAB. What do y'all think about that? I like that scenario. Oh, the Supreme Court stuff. Frederick, let me save that till we get back. from the break. I'm making a note now to lead off the segment with Branning and Kitchens. She won. It just hasn't been officially announced, and I'll tell you exactly why. It hasn't been officially called. But there appears to be no path to victory for Kitchens. And I got the numbers. I got a great text from Russ Latino explaining the details. Steve says, I stuck the landing. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. I really want to save some of these for the radio, but y'all just have to bear with me. Maybe we'll just repeat them. Let's see. Angela says, I was saying Trump should pardon the J6ers. I don't believe he will. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'll clear that up. I thought you were saying he should pardon the Lumumbas. I think he's going to pardon the J6ers. I've got this picture right here. Let me show y'all this. This is Trump's tweet or X or Truth or what the hell ever it's called from last night. Let me save it. I got to save it to the computer, and then I'm going to push it over to the internet so y'all will be able to see it. One day I'm going to buy this radio station a new computer. I truly am. If there's anything I hate on earth more than a slow computer, it's a slower computer. Give me 1 second here. Y'all notice I shaved? The beard is gone for the most part. Nothing but a 5 o'clock shadow left. I went from having a biker beard a couple years ago to having a 5 o'clock shadow. Where did it go? I save it and it doesn't pop up. What in the blue hell? Anyway, I'll just read it. It says, we actually read this earlier, but we'll do it again. Donald Trump said this. He goes, does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the J6 hostages who have now been in prison for years? Such an abuse and miscarriage of justice. I don't believe Trump would have said that if he didn't intend to pardon the J6ers. If I was him, I would announce it, but there may be some political reason why you wouldn't announce specific pardons prior to inauguration. So I don't know. That's just me speculating. Hang on 1 second. I need to shut this door. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, the most incendiary show on all of radio and internet, pumping right across the airwaves here from little old Florida, Mississippi, from the Cotton Exchange Plaza, from the WYAB First Amendment Outpost, 103.9 FM, streaming worldwide across all video platforms at SaveJXN. And, of course, the podcast is always available by 10 a.m. If you miss any of it, want to listen to the audio version. Those are commercial-free, no dead space in between or anything like that. The live reads stay in there. That pays the bills. We won't complain about those. But you can listen to it ad-free on the podcast, on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you download podcast, audiobooks, and more. Don't forget, Cyber Monday sale going on right now on my website, buyfafo.com. If you buy a shirt or a hoodie at regular price, you can get another shirt for 50% off. So $15. Buy a shirt or a hoodie at regular price, get a shirt. I cannot include the hoodies in this special. There's not a whole lot of markup in them. I just can't. A brother got to make a living. But we'll get a shirt, your choice of shirts, for 50% off. So grab those, help support the mission. Everything comes with a free sticker. I know I owe some people some stickers. I'm working on that. Hey, real quick, if you're out auto shopping today, Ellis Autoplex, Highway 471 in Brandon, or Flowood technically, right there at the end of 471 and Highway 25, Ellis Autoplex. Get by, see Casey and the team today. They specialize in four-wheel drive trucks. They call it Little Truck City for a reason. They got trucks, F-150s, F-250s, Silverados, Rams. They got it all. They also have cars and SUVs. Don't worry. Did you know also that Ellis Autoplex is now doing large automotive repairs? They're not going to change your oil, stuff like that. Need an engine, need a transmission replaced, alternator, fuel pump, stuff like that. Consider Ellis Autoplex. Check them out online, ellisautoplex.com. And don't forget, they buy cars. Don't deal with the marketplace maniacs and Craigslist crazies. Don't get yourself killed meeting somebody on Marketplace, or don't get yourself a bogus check written, a fake check from somebody. I've done 100 shows about it. I've ranted so much, I'm tired of talking about it. I did go downstairs and talk to our local insurance agents here, Jamie Creel, and asked them the other day. I said, just to make sure I'm 100% right, if you take a counterfeit check from somebody, insurance will not pay for that. You were just screwed, right? Yep, you were just screwed. Don't be that guy. Don't get screwed because you sold a car to somebody with a bad check from Facebook Marketplace. Go sell your vehicle to Ellis Autoplex. Get a real check. Local bank. Cash it today. Boom, shaka, laka, boom. Check them out online, ellisautoplex.com. Okay, we had a great question during the break. I'm so glad that Frederick asked this question. Jennifer Branning versus Jim Kitchens. A friend of the show, very well respected Russ Latino, Magnolia Tribune. I reached out to him. He called it for Branning the other night before anybody. So I reached out to him and said, hey, why haven't they officially called the race yet? And here's what he told me. He said anatomy of the call. This is kind of why he called it. 1, Branning is up 1,216 votes. 2, there are 173 received absentees in Holmes County, 127 received absentees in Yazoo that have yet to be tabulated. If those absentees break in line with in-person voting in those counties, Kitchen would, I'm sorry, let me click on the whole post here. I apologize. Says Kitchens would net 90 votes, bringing Branning's lead down to 1,126. 3, there are 3,056 reported outstanding votes, the overwhelming majority of which are mail-in absentee ballot requests. Under current Mississippi law, mail-in absentees must be postmarked by Election Day, but can be counted if received within 5 business days, excluding holidays and weekends. Let's for a moment suspend reality and assume all these ballots were properly returned. Kitchens would need to win 69% to overtake Branning. A sizable chunk won't be returned, meaning the percentage he will have to win will go up. 4, and where are these outstanding ballots? Nearly 3/4 are in counties Branning won. Add on to the fact she is outperforming her in-person vote totals on absentees. As an example, she took 24% of in-person votes in Hines, but 36% of absentees, 70% of ranking in person, but over 80% of absentees. That's a little word salad for me there. But 5, in closing, so it is theoretically possible that there will be 100% ballot return and Kitchens will win 69%. Even though Branning won the counties, supplying 75% of the votes? Sure. Is it remotely possible? No. So he feels comfortable looking at the trends that Branning won. Now, I know I probably butchered that trying to read that to y'all. You can maybe go read it for yourself at Russ Latino on X. Yeah, just at Russ Latino on X. You can go find that tweet. I'll see if I can share it here in the comments for you guys. Y'all been so helpful to me. Let's see here. Let's land the plane. We got about 3 minutes left. I always ask you guys. I'll tell you what I'll do. Well, I've already missed it. Never mind. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's read some texts and stuff because you guys have chimed in, and I want to respect the fact that y'all take the time to do it. On the Guns and Gear text line, Reagankin says, here's the thing, John, and his to the last breath defense of indefensible Democrats. You know that, here's the thing, John is going to be one of the roasters at Kim Wade's big roast coming up. I am too. So is Sean and several others. So we'll actually get to see, here's the thing, John, in person if you buy a ticket to go to the roast of Kim Wade. I'll get you all those details. Unknown texture says, what about Joe Exotic this go around? Look, I'm all for pardoning Joe Exotic. You know, I've had him on the show several times. I consider Joe Exotic a friend. Unknown texture on the Guns and Gear text line. Joe Biden has always been a cognital liar all of his life, all of his political career. That's from Jerry in Leesburg. No, he's an absolute compulsive liar. Josh says pardons are garbage and need to be done away with. Mississippi governors are the worst. Haley Barbour, a city I am not going back to, is okay. And it says Haley Barbour, a lot of bad pardons, and he also says he's never going back to El Paso. Shout out to Josh. Jerry sent some links. Ty says, I'm sure the Lumumbas of Detroit were ran out just like the ones are about to be here. I did consider that the Lumumbas were ran out of Detroit. They didn't leave on their own will, their own free will. Blake says, Democrats been lying and changing up things for a long time now. I'd ask the question, is there any city that you never want to go to because of somebody that is so closely associated to that city? Like for me, I never want to go to Scranton because of Joe Biden. Unknown texture says, I would not want to go to Chicago due to Obama and Oprah and all the pedophiles. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. One last text here. Unknown texture says, absolute height of hypocrisy with Biden's pardon for Hunter and trying to prosecute everybody on the right. The Democrats are going to have a hard time putting all that back in the box, aren't they? I don't want to be too optimistic because I'm pessimistic by nature. I truly am. But I think we've seen the death of the Democrat Party for the next 8 to 12 years. If they continue to go down the path they've chosen to go on woke, DEI, democracy, threat to democracy, rainbow supremacy, all that, do they try to get it back to the middle a little bit? Or do they jump in head first and double down on the trans agenda nonsense that clearly is not paying dividends for them? I mean, you got AOC telling us she's running for president in 2028. Lord baby Jesus, please bring AOC to the altar, a.k.a. the ballot box on the first Tuesday in November in 4 years. Please, Lord. Oh! Make her the candidate, and we will absolutely usher in 8 years of supremacy with J.D. Vance or whoever the candidate may or may not be on our side. Let's take our last break of the day, come back and land this Trump Force One plane we've been flying today on the Clay Edwards Show. I used to call my drone, was called Drone Force Jackson, Drone Force JXN. Little did I know that I was illegally flying said drone. I was going back and watch my videos on YouTube over the weekend. I was showing my girlfriend's young son that I had a drone and stuff, and I haven't flown it since then. Truth, honest here. But I was told if you buy the Mavic, the DJI Mini, that you didn't have to have a pilot's license. That is not 100% accurate. You still got to register it and let them know when and where you plan on flying said drone. And their idea of commercial use versus personal use are not the same as mine. Anyway, I said we were flying Trump Force One here, and it made me think I needed a better name for that. We need to come up with a fake name for our fake plane that we land at the top of each hour. Christina says, tried going to buy the shirt, not showing discount for the X2. Please drop web address here for link. That's weird. 2Xs should be available, and they should definitely be covered under that. You don't need a code or anything. You got to buy a shirt or a hoodie, and the other one should automatically discount I did let it lapse, and I had to reset it. So if you tried it before, say, 8 o'clock this morning, it may not have worked, Christina. But where are you watching it, on YouTube? Christina, shoot me an email. Put my email address in here. Shoot me an email there, and I will, with exactly what you were trying to do, and I'll make sure. You're trying to buy 2. Okay. Try it again. If you're trying to buy 2 shirts, it's only going to discount one of them. So the first one will be $30, the second will be $15. It should automatically do it. If it doesn't, let me know. And I will make sure that we get it corrected for you. I will always bend over backwards to make sure that you're able to spend money with me. I promise. Angela, go grab one. BuyFAFO.com. Support your boy. All right, guys. I don't see any point in dragging y'all to the end of this. I'm just going to come back from the radio and say my goodbyes to the radio audience. And again, if you have any troubles with buying a shirt, I guess let me tell everybody that may be tuning in a little late here. I am doing a Cyber Monday special. It's an extension of my Black Friday. Buy a shirt or a hoodie at regular price. You can get your next shirt, no hoodie, your next shirt at 50% off. Hoodies are just too expensive to discount. I apologize for that. It just is what it is. All right. Thank y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll be back live later. I'm starting a new project that I want to start doing daily. So I will be back live later. I don't want to commit to the time yet, but hit the bell. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the bell for notifications, and you will get a notification when I get ready to go live. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this Monday with us. Got a big week of shows planned, big week of content. My batteries are recharged, and I am ready to hit the ground running to end the year strong. Peace out. Love y'all.